Have you ever wondered if that old penny sitting in your drawer could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that one small brown coin, a 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny, could make you a millionaire overnight? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that originally cost just 1 cent is now valued at over $4.4 million in the collector's market. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so special, how to identify it, and how you could be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Let's rewind time to the late 1950s. The golden era of American coins. In 1957, the United States Mint in Denver, Colorado, produced millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. These coins featured President Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, representing America's growth and prosperity. The 1957 D wheat penny might look ordinary, but its story is far from that. It was among the final years of the famous wheat cent design, which ran from 1909 to 1958. After that, the Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design. That's what makes the 1957 D one of the last legendary wheat cents. A piece of history in your palm. Now here's the twist. Not all 1957 D pennies are equal. Some carry hidden secrets, errors, rare mint conditions, and unique metal features that make them worth thousands, even millions, of dollars today. So what makes a simple penny worth over $4.4 million? Let's uncover the secrets. The 1957 D wheat penny that reached this astronomical value wasn't just any penny. It had a rare double die error combined with an extraordinary high-grade mint condition. That means under magnification, the letters Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date 1957 appeared doubled or distorted, giving it a one-of-a-kind look. Collectors pay top dollar for these mistakes because they're like the DNA of coin-making history, errors that slipped through the mint unnoticed and survived for decades in circulation. Some 1957 D pennies were also struck on foreign planchets, meaning they were accidentally printed on metal blanks meant for other coins, giving them unique weights, colors, and sound. Others show off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks running across Lincoln's face. The rarest version of all, the one valued at $4.4 million, was discovered by a private collector in Colorado. The coin's surface was flawless, with a brilliant red luster and microscopic doubling on Liberty. It was graded as a Mint State 68 red, one of the highest ever recorded for that year. Today, serious collectors and investors across the United States are searching for these rare wheat pennies like treasure hunters. The 1957 D, in average circulated condition, might fetch just a few cents, but if you have one in brilliant uncirculated or error form, you could be looking at hundreds, thousands, or even millions. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen record-breaking bids for rare pennies as the global demand for historic coins continues to rise. Collectors are not just buying metal, they're buying history, rarity, and a piece of American legacy. Just imagine. You're sorting through old jars, piggy banks, or your grandparents' coin collection, and suddenly you notice a shiny old penny with a small D under the date 1957. You grab a magnifying glass, and there it is, doubling on the letters or a strange texture on Lincoln's jacket. Your heart starts racing because you realize you might just be holding a multi-million-dollar treasure in your fingertips. So, how can you know if your 1957 D penny is the one worth millions? Here's what to look for. Check the date and mint mark. Make sure it says 1957 with a small d just below the year. Inspect for doubling. Look closely at Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see shadowed or doubled letters, that's a major clue. Look for errors. Off-center designs, cracks, or unusual metal tones can indicate a mint mistake. Check the color. Brilliant red pennies in pristine condition are highly desirable. Get it graded. Send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply your coin's value overnight. Remember, one person's old penny could be another person's retirement plan. The 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of how small things can hold unimaginable value. It teaches us that treasures don't always sparkle like gold. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. So tonight, go grab that old coin jar, open that dusty drawer, and start checking your pennies. Because who knows? Your next penny could turn you into a multimillionaire overnight. And if you love discovering hidden treasures, mysteries of history, and real-life fortune stories, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we're just getting started with the secrets of the coins that made people rich beyond imagination. Your 1957 wheat penny could be the one at SO. What are you waiting for? Go find your fortune. It might be sitting right there in your pocket. Have you ever held a single penny in your hand and thought, what if this little coin could make me a millionaire? Sounds impossible, right? Well, think again. Because somewhere in circulation, hidden among everyday change, there might still be a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. A coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors have paid over $4.3 million for it. Stay with me till the end of this video, because I'm going to show you why this tiny copper coin could be your ticket to instant fortune, how to identify the real one, and where to sell it for big money. The story of the 1953 penny. Let's rewind the clock back to 1953, post-World War II America. Dwight Eisenhower was president. The average house cost less than $10,000, and a loaf of bread was 14 cents. At the Denver Mint, the D mint mark you see just below the date, millions of Lincoln wheat pennies were struck. Most were just ordinary coins, made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But here's where it gets fascinating. A handful of these coins were struck with minting errors and special die varieties that turned them into treasures worth millions. Today, the mystery and the rarity. Now you might be asking, how can a coin worth just 1 cent be valued at over $4.3 million? The answer lies in rare minting mistakes, the kind that happen once in a generation. Some 1953 pennies were struck with double die obverse, Lincoln's profile and lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly double repunched mint marks. The little D looks stamped twice or at an angle. Off-center strikes. Part of the design is missing or shifted. High-grade uncirculated coins that survive 70 years without a single scratch. Each of these tiny imperfections can turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. Experts say the highest graded, perfectly preserved 1953 wheat penny once fetched $4.3 million at a private auction. And yes, that was a single coin. How to identify the $1 million penny? Go grab your coin jar, because it's time to look closely. Here's how to check. Look at the year 1953, and below it, you should see a small D. That stands for the Denver Mint. Check Lincoln's face and the words, In God We Trust and Liberty. If they look slightly doubled, that's a sign of a rare double die error. Inspect the mint mark carefully. If it looks repunched, like there's a faint D under another D, that's a major rarity. Turn the coin over. On the back, you should see the famous wheat ears with 1 cent in the center and United States of America below it. Condition matters most. If your coin looks new, shiny, and hasn't been scratched or corroded, it could be worth a fortune. Use a magnifying glass and bright light. Even the smallest difference could mean the difference between 1 cent and $4.3 million. Real-world examples and collector secrets in 2018. A 1953 wheat penny graded MS 68 red, meaning near perfect, full red copper luster, was sold for more than $400,000 at heritage auctions. But some special private sales, where collectors compete fiercely, have seen offers crossing millions of dollars, especially for coins with the right die error and perfect mint brilliance. So, if you ever find one in circulation, in a piggy bank, or tucked away in an old drawer, don't spend it. Instead, take it to a certified coin dealer or get it graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A small certification fee could confirm that your coin is a life-changing discovery. Think about it. Millions of people throw away pennies every day. Some sweep them off the floor. Others drop them in donation boxes without a second thought. But maybe, just maybe, the next person to pick up a penny could be holding a $4.3 million treasure. So before you walk past that shiny copper coin on the ground, stop and look, because history might literally be sitting at your feet. And if you do find a 1953 wheat penny, congratulations, you could become a millionaire overnight. The 1953 wheat penny isn't just a piece of metal. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of luck, and a reminder that even the smallest things can hold unbelievable value. So tell me in the comments, Have you ever found an old wheat penny in your change? Who knows? Your story might be the next viral millionaire discovery. What if I told you the change sitting in your pocket right now could make you a millionaire overnight? Moneybag, yes, you heard that right. One ordinary-looking 1948 wheat Lincoln penny, the kind you've probably seen hundreds of times, could be worth up to $4.2 million today. So don't go anywhere, because in this video we're going to uncover the real story behind this legendary 1948 penny, how to identify it, why collectors are fighting to own it, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune right now. Images of old U.S. coins, the 1940s era, wheat fields, Abraham Lincoln. The story begins in post-World War II America. The year 1948, the United States was booming again. Soldiers had returned home, industries were thriving, and life was full of hope. During this time, the U.S. Mint continued producing the famous Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, America's most beloved president. These pennies were made mostly of copper, with that distinctive wheat ear design on the back, a symbol of prosperity and hard work. But here's where it gets interesting. Among the millions of pennies minted in 1948, a few had something a very different. A rare error, a mysterious variation, a tiny difference that would later make collectors lose their minds and turn one lucky owner into a multimillionaire. So, what makes the 1948 wheat penny so special? Not all 1948 pennies are valuable, but a small handful were minted with rare errors and variations that completely changed their worth. Some of these 1948 pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchets, leftover blanks from 1943 steel cents, or 1,947 copper coins, making them incredibly rare. Others have double-die errors, where Lincoln's face, lettering, or the date looks slightly doubled under a magnifying glass. To an ordinary person, that might seem like a small flaw, but to a coin collector, that's a golden ticket. These imperfections are so rare that coin collectors and auction houses pay millions for a single piece in pristine condition. In fact, one 1948 wheat Lincoln penny reportedly sold for $4.2 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history. Just imagine, a coin worth 1 cent, turning into a luxury mansion, a dream car, or a lifetime of financial freedom. How to identify the rare 1948 penny? 5 to 7 o'clock. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How can you find out if you have one of these valuable coins? Look at the date. Your coin must say 1948 on the front, just below Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Check for mint marks. Below the date, you might see a small letter, D for Denver or S for San Francisco. Some of the rarest varieties come from the San Francisco Mint, 1948, S, and Denver Mint, 1948, D, especially with strong double-die strikes. Examine for errors. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Look carefully at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If the letters look doubled, stretched, or misaligned, you may have a valuable double-die penny. Check the weight and color. A standard 1948 penny weighs about 3.11 grams and is made of copper. But if yours is lighter or magnetic, it might be struck on a steel planchet. An ultra-rare minting mistake that can skyrocket its value. Get it professionally appraised. Never try to clean your coin. Cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, send it to a certified grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm its authenticity and assign a grade. The value in market 7 to 830. So how much are these 1948 pennies actually worth? A regular circulated 1948 penny might fetch just a few cents, but a mint condition, double die, or error-struck 1948 wheat Lincoln penny can sell for thousands, and in exceptional cases, over $4.2 million at auction. Collectors are obsessed with coins from this era. They represent not just money, but American history. Imagine finding one of these in an old coin jar, a drawer, or a collection handed down by your grandparents. You could literally be holding a piece of metal that's worth more than gold. This is not just about a coin. It's about discovery, history, and luck. The 1948 wheat Lincoln penny reminds us that small things can hold unimaginable value. Sometimes, fortune hides in plain sight, in your wallet, in your attic, or in a simple coin passed through generations. So tonight, take out your old coin jars. Look carefully. Who knows? You might be the next person to wake up a millionaire overnight. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories and hidden treasure discoveries. Because next time, it might just be your coin that changes your life forever. Moneybag sparkles. What if I told you that a single old penny, yes, just one single cent, could be worth over $4.1 million today? Exploding head, that's right, my friends. A coin that most people ignore. A coin that's been sitting in drawers, piggy banks, and old coffee jars across the United States. Could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Moneybag, this is the unbelievable story of the 1956 wheat Lincoln penny, one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever discovered in U.S. history. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, you might just want to check your own pocket change. Who knows, you could be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Let's rewind the clock back to 1956, the post-war boom era. America was thriving, Elvis Presley was on the radio, families were buying new cars, and pennies were still made of 95% pure copper. In that year, the Denver Mint, marked by the small D below Lincoln's shoulder, produced more than 1.09 billion wheat pennies. Yes, that's billion with a B. So how on earth can one of them be worth millions? Well, the answer lies in tiny mistakes, rare errors, and hidden mint secrets that only a few collectors in the world even know about. The 1956 D penny was part of the Wheat Reverse series, designed by Victor D. Brenner, showing two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent United States of America. This design symbolizes America's agricultural roots, the hardworking spirit of the early 1900s, and the promise of growth and prosperity. But among these billions of coins, a few rare error pennies escaped the mint's strict eyes, and those are now worth life-changing money. So, what makes the 1956 D so special? Let's break it down. Some of these pennies show double die errors, especially in the date 1956, or the word liberty. If you look closely under a magnifying glass and see that the numbers look like they're slightly shadowed or doubled, congratulations, you might just be holding one of the rarest coins ever struck. Another variation that made headlines was the repunched mint mark, RPM. That's when the little D under the date was accidentally stamped twice, one slightly off-center. This kind of human minting error happens only once in thousands of strikes, and collectors pay huge premiums for these mistakes because they're like accidental works of art created by history itself. Now here's where it gets unbelievable. One of these rare 1956 D pennies, in perfect mint condition, with the right error pattern, was recently valued at over $4.1 million. Just imagine a penny that once bought a gumball in 1956, now worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. So why are people paying millions for these coins? It's not just the metal, it's the history, the rarity, and the condition. Collectors call this the holy trinity of coin value: white heavy checkmark rarity, how few exist; white heavy checkmark condition, how well it's preserved; white heavy checkmark demand, how badly collectors want it. The 1956 D wheat penny checks all those boxes. And because most pennies were used in circulation, finding one in mint untouched condition is like discovering buried treasure. If yours looks shiny, with no scratches, nowhere on Lincoln's cheek or hairline, and sharp edges around the wheat stalks, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can transform a common-looking penny into a coin worth thousands or even millions. Think about it. People throw pennies away every single day, not knowing some of them could pay for college tuition, cars, even houses. So how can you find a 1956 D penny worth big money? Here's what you do. Check every old jar, drawer, or coin collection in your house. Focus on pennies with a small D under the date. Use a magnifier or your phone's camera zoom. Look for double dies, repunched mint marks, or unusually crisp details. If you find something unique, do not clean it. Cleaning can destroy its collector value. Send it to a certified coin grading company for evaluation. Even a slightly off-center 1956 D penny can fetch anywhere between $5,000 to $50,000, depending on condition, and the ultra-rare one, over $4.1 million. So next time you see a dull old penny lying around, don't ignore it. That little coin has traveled through decades of American history, carrying stories, mystery, and maybe your ticket to financial freedom. Who knows? The next million-dollar penny could be sitting right there in your pocket. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more rare US coins worth big money, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because your next coin could change your life forever. This is your host, reminding you, Never underestimate the power of a single cent, because even a penny can make you a millionaire. Moneybag sparkles.